Welcome again, Wildcats. All right, so today we're looking at Friday, February 24th, and we're going to solve rational equations, and on page 59. All right, so if you would pause the video and update your table of contents. All right, now that your table of contents are updated, let's take a look at our notes. All right, so our notes are on page 59. All right, so step 1, multiply each term by the common denominator. Step 2, cancel out common factors. Step 3, simplify. Step 4, solve the equation. All right, so if you would, pause the video and update the first 4 steps. All right, now that your first 4 steps are updated, let's take a look at the next. All right, so in step 4, we said solve the equation, okay? So when you get to that point, you're gonna have 2 options. If you come out with a quadratic, that means you have an x squared, then you're gonna do these steps, which are step 5, set everything equal to 0 in standard form. Okay, step 6, factor or use a quadratic formula. Step 7, set each factor equal to 0 and solve. And step 8, check for extraneous solutions. Okay, so that's if it's a quadratic. So if you would pause the video, write the steps down if it's quadratic. All right, now, if it's linear, then step 5 will be to set the variables on one side equal to a number on the other side and solve for x. And step 6, check for extraneous solutions. So if you would, pause the video and finish up your linear steps. All right, I assume now that your notes are updated, let's look at the examples. Remember, that's going to be on page 59. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over example 1, 2, and 3 in the video, and then I'll do example 4, 5, and 6 in class. Okay, but let me just tell you, if at any point you get stuck and you're having trouble with the examples, stop, and then I'll be more than willing to go over any and all the examples in class. Okay, but if you're following along, keep following along. Okay. All right. So step 1, multiply each term by the common denominator. Well, I see that there is only one denominator, which is x, so I'm going to multiply everything by that. Okay. So, and you have to multiply everything because of the equal sign. You have to multiply everything. Okay. Otherwise, you're not being equal. So x times x is x squared. X times 8 is 8x. But remember, it's divided by x. And then equals 6 times x is 6x. All right, now step 2, cancel out common factors. Well, x and x are a common factor, and x divided by x is 1. So you get x squared plus 8 equals 6x. Now, there's nothing to simplify. And to solve, we're going to move to step 5 because it's quadratic. We're going to set everything in standard form equal to 0. So we're going to subtract 6x from both sides. And you get x squared minus 6x plus 8 equal to 0. Okay? Now, step 6 says factor, use the quadratic formula. So if factorable, we always want to factor, and you want to get used to factoring with parentheses. All right. Now, we know that x times x is x squared. And we need to find all the factors of 8. So since the last number is positive, the middle number is negative, both numbers are going to be negative. So negative 1 times negative 8, negative 2 times negative 4, negative 3 doesn't work, negative 4 times negative 2. Okay, so now we look, negative 4, negative 2 combined to be negative 6, so our factors are x minus 2 and x minus 4. Okay, Now we set each of the factors equal to 0, so x minus 2 equal to 0, and x minus 4 equal to 0. And we solve, so we add 2 to both sides, x equals 2, and add 4 to both sides, x equals 4. Okay, and then step 8 is a check, so we're going to check. Okay, so let's start with x equals 2. So that's 2 plus 8 divided by 2 equals 6. Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, x equals 2 is the solution. Now let's check x equals 4. So you get 4 plus 8 divided by 4 equals 6. Well, 8 divided by 4 is 2, 2 plus 4 is 6, these check. So x equals 2 and x equals 4 are the solutions, and there are no extraneous solutions. All right, now what I'd like you to do is pause the video and try example 2. And then once you try example 2, then click play and then watch me as I work through it and see if your work aligns and you did it correctly. All right. I assume now you've tried example 2, so now let's work it together. All right, so step 1, multiply each term by the common denominator. So I see that the common denominator is x minus 3, so I'm going to multiply everything by x minus 3. So x minus 3 times 3x is 3x times x minus 3 divided by x minus 3 equals, now I'm going to go ahead and put the 2x plus 3 in parentheses, multiply that times x minus 3 divided by x minus 3. So when you're multiplying fractions, you only multiply the numerator, okay? But you can't forget about the denominator. All right, so now step 2 is cancel out common factors. So we see that x minus 3 divided by x minus 3 is 1, and x minus 3 divided by x minus 3 is 1. So we're left with 3x equals 2x plus 3. Now we see that we're in step 4, solve the equation, and we see that we're linear. So step 5 says in linear to put the variables on one side and the numbers on the other. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. So 3x minus 2x is 1x. So you get 1x equals 3. All right, and then let's check. All right, so we're going to check by substituting 3 in. So that's 3 times 3 divided by 3 minus 3 equals 2 times 3 plus 3 divided by 3 minus 3, which we end up with 9 divided by 0 equals 3 times 2 is 6 plus 3 is 9 divided by 0. Now, while that's a true statement, the problem is a number divided by 0, a number divided by 0 is undefined. I'm just going to abbreviate undefined as UND, undefined. So, well, actually, I guess I can wait and see if I have time. Remember, right? Undefined. Yeah, there you go. That's much better. Undefined. So, I'm saying that x equals 3 is an extraneous solution. All right. So, pause the video and then try example 3. All right, so I'm assuming you've paused the video, you've tried example 3, so let's work this together and see how you did. So step 1 says to multiply term by the common denominator. So we see here, now whenever you're trying to find a common denominator, you can just multiply the denominators together. So here we have x minus 7 and 2, so those are your denominators. So our common denominator is 2 times x minus 7. Okay, so now we're going to multiply everything by 2 times x minus 7. And I'm going to leave it as 2 times x minus 7 for a reason you'll see in about 8 seconds. So that's parentheses 2x minus 9 times 2 times x minus 7 okay, divided by x minus 7 plus, and there's probably actually like 14 seconds, but what I'm hoping you see is that because we left it in this format, you can see that it's easier to see that these will divide and become 1. Okay, so plus x times 2 times x minus 7 divided by 2 equals, and I'm going to go ahead and just, to save some space here, 2 times 5 is 10, so that's 10 x minus 7. This way it all fits into this box, divided by x minus 7. Okay, now step 2, cancel out common factors. So we see that x minus 7 divided by x minus 7 is 1, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and x minus 7 divided by x minus 7 is 1. Okay, now we're going to simplify. So 2 times 2x is 4x, minus 2 times 9 is 18, plus x times x is x squared, x times 7 is negative 7x, equals 10. Okay, now we're in step 4, solve the equation. We see that it's quadratic, so we're going to move everything to one side in standard form. So if we subtract 10 from both sides and reorder it so it's in standard form, we get 1x squared, see, minus 3x, and then negative 18 minus 10 is negative 28, equal to 0. Okay, now if we can, we're going to solve using factoring. So we know x times x gives you x squared. Now we need to find all the factors of negative 28. So negative 1 times 28, negative 2 times 14, negative 3 doesn't work, negative 4 times, let's see, count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 5, 6, 7, 4 times 7, 5 doesn't work, 6, negative 6, 12, 18, 24, 30 doesn't work, 7 times, negative 7 times 3. All right, so we're looking for the combination that makes negative 3. So negative 7 and 3. Okay, so we set them in step 7, set each factor equal to 0. So x minus 7 equal to 0. X plus 3 equal to 0. So x equals 7. X equals negative 3. All right, I'm actually going to erase this work here. We don't really need this anymore, so we have space to check our work. Okay. So let's check. All right, so let's check x equals 7 first. Let me straighten these lines out. Sorry if the lines aren't perfect here. Let me try to make those a little better here. All right. All right, so let's check x equals 7. So that's 2 times 7 minus 9 divided by 7 minus 7 plus 7 divided by 2 equals 5 divided by 7 minus 7. All right, so what I'm hoping you see is that 7 minus 7 is 0, so you'll get a number divided by 0, which is undefined. So our 7 is extraneous solution. Okay, so now let's check 3. So 2 times 3 minus 9 divided by 3 minus 7 plus 3 divided by 2 equals 5 divided by 3 minus 7, which checks. So x equals -3 is the solution. Okay, so with that, if you felt good about these, go ahead and try example 4, 5, and 6, and then go ahead and start the assignment. But if not, wait for class, and I'll go over those examples in class. Now, I think that's with that. So with that, have a wrestle-rific Wildcat day.